Hello and welcome to my review of Captain Marvel, the bajillionth or 30th, I don't even know anymore, movie of the MCU. Finally come out with Brie Larson's and Samuel L. Jackson starring in it, and it's really good. Full disclosure, I went in low expectations, not because of any of the things going on in the background of this on social media, just solely on I was worried that another, you know, superhero origin story was gonna show like Marvel burnout or something, and I'm dead wrong. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. I've seen a lot of complaints about Brie Larson's portrayal of Carol Danvers, or as Captain Marvel, or as um, just being like a superhero. And yeah, she's not as quirky as, I don't know, like Iron Man or someone, or Ant Man, but she's still funny. She still knows when to be serious, and she can still kick ass, but she also can get beaten. Like, that's a very good hero. And it makes sense why she's serious sometimes and not serious the other times. Because this is not a spoiler, but in the film, she can't remember her past. And so she's serious about it because, can't fracking remember her past and amnesia. But at the same time, she's still cracking jokes, having fun, and a couple of times when she's using her powers, like she finds out something new, like there's actual excitement in her voice and like cheeriness and hope and joy. And if something bad happens, like the fist like Arthur meme, the clenched fist meme, pops up, and you could see it in her eyes get like more intense, and you're like, oh snap. But speaking of snaps, is Captain Marvel the big baddie is going to take down Thanos? I don't know why I call her Big Baddie. But anyway, no. I still think Thor's got the one up on her. But in terms of power level of the MCU heroes, it's Thor number one, because Infinity War. And then literally Captain Marvel. And then, I don't know. I would say Hulk, but recently, Iron Man, or well, obviously it's not Mantis or Drax or someone. But that's beside the point. I just didn't see the movie that everyone's saying that she's going to be the person that can whoop Thanos' butt in like 5 seconds. No, I still think even with her help, Thanos will still be a formidable foe in game. But that's not the point here. The point here is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was a very enjoyable film. It's a good MCU film, and Samuel L. Jackson is just muy caliente. If CGI like this exists in terms of de-aging someone, I'm so confused why it sucks elsewhere. In other films, there's de-aging process and it looks like absolute crap. But after like a couple minutes, I forgot that Samuel L. Jackson is old as balls. I mean, no, I know he's not old, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it surprises like how easily your brain can get tricked into thinking that's actually Samuel L. Jackson, not altered whatsoever, and that's just him there. And the same thing with Clark, the guy who does Agent Coulson. Same thing. He looks like I assume he would look. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but the CGI was just that good. And the other CGI, I'm not a fan of her mask and the way it like makes her look. Like, I'm trying to like picture like why does Batman's work out so well? I think it's because the eyes don't pop out as much. There's very little room for his eyes to pop out. And I don't know. I don't know. It was weird looking, but I think maybe it might have been the CGI. And if they altered a little bit and like maybe she got a different look for in-game, it'd be fine. Maybe I'm just nitpicky. And that's the thing. Like, I'm really just nitpicking the film. Because otherwise, there's Ben Mendelsohn, the villain, like, acts his socks off, and he's got just pounds of makeup on at times, and I don't know. I was just really surprised by him. I'm not really surprised by him because I think he does well in like almost everything he does. But his story and how his character develops, super interesting. Won't spoil it here. Just very fabulous. And like I said, I really love Samuel L. Jackson. I really did enjoy Brie Larson. as well as her friends. Well, actually, both her friends. And I can't spoil. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but just her friends and how they interact with her and how their relationship grows and how surprises are brought about. Yeah, that's not spoilery. Like, I don't know, seeing her on my poster board, she's like right there. I don't know if you could tell or not. But seeing her on there and then realizing that, you know, that's just another MCU character that's out there, that's just cool. And that it's still enjoyable. I can't think of the number right now of what they're at movie wise, but the fact that we're on the 24th whatever film this is, it feels like it's still a fun ride. And I know Endgame is going to be that way, and it's just a testimony to like how good Marvel is at their job. Marvel Studios, I guess that is. And speaking of Marvel, the end credit scene, definitely wait for the mid credit scene. That is, oof, that is a good credit scene right there. And then there's one at the very end of the film, but not important, I guess. I mean, it's funny in a sense. It's better than Howard the Duck's thing in what is that, Guardians 1. Better than that one, but at the same time, still probably not worth your time if you have young kids with you or preteens and it's like already past midnight. You just go on your way after that mid-credit scene and beat the crowd because everyone's gonna wait for that last scene. And I don't know. After seeing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse's end credit scene, that's the best one. Also, Stan Lee's tribute comes at a different time than you'd expect, if that makes sense. And it's just really beautiful. I loved what they did there. And it's just, God, I got emotional, I think, a little bit. And I gripped my girlfriend's like arm a little bit because we were holding hands, you know, obviously. And I gripped it a little bit harder, like when his tribute came on screen. That was cool. That was cool. And his cameos, I think his last cameo into Spider-Verse was hilarious, but still kind of moving at the same time, and it was like 10 seconds. This scene is just very adorable, I think. And I can't wait to see what his last one is in Endgame. But for Captain Marvel, yeah, I want to say 9 out of 10, but I want to give it an 8 out of 10 just in case I missed something. Okay, 8 out of 10 only because I think there was one scene in particular that I did have trouble following because of darkness, and it made me feel like I was watching a DCEU movie or whatever the heck they call their universe now. It was just really fracking dark. I couldn't tell who was who there for a little second. So 8 out of 10, but only because I'm nitpicky. Otherwise, it's still a fun film. And if you were the kind of person that's worried that it's going to be too much of a feminist movie or whatever, don't worry about it. It's a fun Marvel movie, and that if you have a daughter, she can get empowered by it, or if you have a niece or whatever the relationship, or just a good friend, they can be empowered by Captain Marvel, but it's not like shove it down your throat. And I'm not saying that it could be a bad thing. I'm just saying that this is a very easy movie for all audience members to get behind if you can. It's a very straightforward film in a sense that it's not shoving down a massive message down our throats. There is a message that, other than Captain America, that she is the first one, and she is with Nick Fury, so there's not a lot of spoilers there if you like wrap your head around what that could do in terms of setting up the MCU in terms of chronological order of the events that happen in the movies. If you're keeping up with me here, that there's a message of like how she led to certain events and certain things and how she started a couple things, and I think that was fine. It's very well done. I heard someone say that DC did it better with Wonder Woman, and I don't know. I really disliked Wonder Woman's third act, where Captain Marvel's is interesting, because at one moment she takes care of a couple of things, not to be spoilery, and then she looks at a villain, and then something happens that I didn't expect would happen. Like, I'd expect her to continue on doing the activity she was doing when she actually stops and like has a hero moment. And I was like, that was unexpected. I was expecting a Skybeam situation or a clock running situation. No, it's not any of those, and I think that makes it a lot more hype than a Skybeam or just seeing some random dude in a CGI body fighting Wonder Woman in like a lightning storm or whatever the heck that was, a poison gas. I forget Wonder Woman, but the third act I didn't like. But this movie I did like the whole way. I love the cat. I love Samuel L. I love Brie Larson. I just love the entire cast, and there's a cute little girl in there, and she's so adorable. And I don't know, there's just a lot to love about this film, a lot to like about this film. A couple things to nitpick about this film, and that's okay, because no film is really perfect except for like maybe Schindler's List and like Shawshank and maybe a couple other films. But still, it's just a very fun MCU movie that I think you guys should go check out. And if you have seen it and you have checked it out, let me know in the comments down below what you like about Captain Marvel. Or if you haven't seen it yet, when are you going to plan to? A couple weeks from now, let it die down, or get a version of it somehow before Endgame. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like the video, give it a like. If you really like the video, subscribe to the channel and get more of these lovely things. And I'll see you guys in the next one.